The biologist Richard Byrd might call this form of patterning iteration. Iteration is more than simple repetition. If something is done several times, if the same operation is performed repeatedly with no connection between one cycle and the next, I call that simple repetition. To qualify as iteration, a process must have two further steps. First, there must be an output from the operation that is used as input for the next iterative cycle. Second, the output must be treated in a consistent way at each cycle. Byrd's definition of iteration contains an echo of Justima's belief that variation is required for a pattern to go beyond mere repetition or powdering. However, Byrd's notion of iteration introduces the idea of evolution into the pattern system. The pattern motif, understood as iteration, changes from one instantiation to the next. It not only varies, but evolves, carrying forward into new instances some of that which was created in the past. Pattern, understood as iteration, becomes dynamic. Hushlak's pattern visual systems take as their source data very particular, signless images of the world around us. Iteration works in two ways in his work. First, in the creation of the image through the evolutionary algorithms applied to the combination and recombination of the source images. Secondly, this iterative process is witnessed by the patterned images that result. No two instances of a motif across the surface of an image are identical, although their structures are all related. The pattern traces the movement of the basic structure from one instance to the next. Thus we see in Hushlak's work the elegant expression of pattern that goes beyond repetition to capture the dynamic character of a situation. From this patterned field, unexpected and unintended figures emerge. Within the pattern systems of Hushlak's drawings are symmetrical relationships that function within the motifs, between the motifs, and between the diptychs that comprise most of the drawings. These relationships are enhanced by the multi-panel format Hushlak uses to establish conversations between the drawings. Symmetries chatter within and between the drawings. They are created through three operations basic to all symmetrical systems: reflection, rotation, and translation. Through the application of these operations to different kinds of initial motifs, the variation in the kinds of symmetry we find in Hushlak's work emerge: bilateral symmetry, chirality or handedness, rotational symmetry, and translational symmetry. The last kind of symmetry we can observe in Hushlak's work, and the most important with respect to the figures that emerge therefrom, is repetitive symmetry, resulting in pattern. Mathematicians Michael Field and Martin Glubitsky describe how pattern, allowed to evolve over sufficient repetition within a chaotic system, will eventually converge toward a set of fixed points. Images of the chaotic system emerge when the computer, through visualization software, traces this process. These images have been called strange attractors. Strange because they are unexpected, attractors because they result from the convergence of the events within the system toward the set of fixed points. I would like to suggest that the haunting figures that emerge within Hushlak's drawings might be understood as strange attractors, images of chaotic drawing systems. Hushlak refers to these images as totems or spirits of the places he photographs. These figures seem to embody essential attributes of the patterns and symmetries that surround them. When these forms are isolated and extracted from their contexts within the drawings and translated into sculptural forms, the underlying rules that govern the systems are made concrete. In some of the drawings included in Bred, these totems are incorporated back into the drawings. They stand sentinel, create a frame or an anchor for the drawing's shifting patterns and symmetries. Iteration and evolution are fundamental principles that allow Hushlak to breed his drawings. By understanding the work as a process rather than an end in itself, Hushlak allows the chaotic systems he creates to evolve through their required iterations of pattern symmetries to discover their essential order. Through this ordering, Hushlak is able to bring to life drawings and sculptures that provide a true image of the places and the relationships he explores.